Welcome back, everyone. I must confess, I have a favorite line I use in a lot of my emails now. Someone will ask me if I'm working on a project, well, what do you think the outcome should be? And I have the sort of standard answer now that women should take over the world. I don't know about you, but given I follow the news, as I'm sure many of you do too, and I think that's probably a pretty good idea. Well, March is International Women's Month. And for the last couple of years, we have interviewed members of an organization called Soroptimists. And joining me today are two members of the organization in the Saratoga chapter. And this is Dr. Elizabeth, and you got to give me your last name. I have it as Hadlick. Is that correct? Haladic. Okay, good. Thank you. And Amanda Friedman. So welcome to both of you. Beth, I'm going to start with you. Soroptimist. It doesn't exactly roll off your tongue, and some people think it's a musical instrument. So would you give us a sense of what the organization is about?
Sure, and you're right, it doesn't roll off the tongue. Actually, when we tell people that we're Soroptimists, we often hear them say, Soropta what? Right. And really, if you break down the word, it comes from the Latin soros, meaning sister, and optima, meaning best. So it's really something that's best for women. We are a global volunteer organization that provides women and girls access to education and training that they need to achieve economic empowerment.
Wow. Amanda, I think you said you've been a member of the organization now for a better part of 3 years. And what made you want to join this organization?
Well, it is a really great group of women who are working really hard on making sure that we can continue to fundraise and provide the programs that we do. Obviously, with a little bit of financial background, I, am all for women having some financial stability, and sometimes it's not easy access to get some of that information.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And just so our viewers know, Amanda is a financial advisor for Saratoga Financial Services, so she knows what she's talking about there. Yes, right before the interview, we were talking, and Maggie Frank, who runs an organization called Wellspring in Saratoga, deals with a lot of issues, a lot surrounding domestic violence and whatever. And Amanda, I'm going to stick with this just for a second.
Sure.
Economic independence is really key to a pathway out of situations that women do find themselves in, and not always the easiest path, right?
Sure, because financial means the way out. And if you don't have financial means, you may be stuck in a situation and tolerating a situation much, much longer than you normally would. So simple things like budgeting and planning and having employment allow for a piece of financial stability that might allow somebody to get out of one of those circumstances.
Right. Beth, give us a sense of, I know that Soroptimists and the local chapter, especially the Saratoga chapter, which is a very active chapter, is involved with a lot of signature projects and a couple of fundraisers, and one that we will talk about in a second. But give me a sense of what some of these signature projects are.
Sure. So as Amanda had said about the achieving financial independence, we do have a project that works with Wellspring. It's our signature educational project. That's called Project Hope and Power. And it's really designed to guide domestic violence survivors towards financial independence. We also have another project called Dream It, Be It. And that's more career support for girls in secondary school by providing them access to careers, role models, career education, and resources to achieve their goals.
I've talked to other Soroptimists about Dream It, Be It, and that really hits home because, we all, as human beings, sort of establish a sense of who we are at a very young age and what we might be or what we dream of being. And, you don't want anything to clamp down and say, no, you can't, So the whole sense of dream it and be it. I see it with my granddaughters, and you want to instill in them at a very early age that if you can dream it, it's possible that you can be it. I think that's a wonderful program. Now, do you take that kind of program into the schools? Do you hold seminars with students? How do you do that?
So pre-COVID, we were doing this on site. But now that COVID has, affected many of our ability to do things face to face, we've explored the option to do this virtually, and we're actually working on that right now and getting that off the ground so that we can offer this program again.
Yeah, got you. Speaking of COVID, it kind of leads me into what I always knew as the signature fundraiser, which was something called cabin fever.
Mm-hmm.
And outside of the fact that we're all really experiencing cabin fever for reasons we never expected in our lifetime, you've had to really rethink the fundraiser. And you came up with a pretty good idea. So what are you doing?
So so when Amanda and I had actually taken over the Cabin Fever Committee last June, we thought ahead, because typically this event runs in January. And we were concerned that with COVID and the unknowns that could present in January around flu season, we decided then that potentially doing something in-house with, 100 or so plus guests might not be feasible. So we decided to do something and explore options with Saratoga National, because they were the venue that hosted our Cabin Fever. So we knew that they had a golf course, and they said, we could do this golf tournament. And, we said, yes, that would be great if we could still run a fundraiser despite the pandemic and still raise money for women and girls. I mean, that was just a home run for us. So, or a hole in one.
Yeah, right.
So Amanda and I, last year, we started planning, and now as the weeks chip away, we're getting close. So we want to tell everybody about the event and have them come out to support the cause.
It's May 24th, everybody, and you'll see a website on the screen, so you'll know where to go to get more information about it. Does the tournament have a name? Is it the Cabin Fever Golf Tournament?
Spring Fever Golf Tournament.
You got to be a little more original than that. Come on.
Well, we didn't want to turn too far away from its, namesake in its original form, knowing that we had to shift the venue, and we still wanted to be able to connect back to Cabin Fever. And it has a similar connotation. We're ready for spring, aren't we?
Well,
We're done with winter.
I would just offer, if I had a choice, I'd rather have spring fever than cabin fever. So, I think it's great. I think it's a great idea. Amanda, what do you hope to raise? I know in the past, you've been able to raise quite a bit of money for your initiatives. What's the goal?
Just a successful event, I would say at the moment. Given that it's our first run out, we're kind of uncertain what those actual budget end lines are going to look like. We know that Cabin Fever is one of our largest fundraisers. Typically, Beth, you might know better. I think it typically runs around $30,000 to $40,000 in profits for us, which is about half of what we take in on an annual basis. So we didn't really set a goal other than to ensure that we could give it a shot. To be honest.
Right. Literally, I assume.
Literally, right? Because we, when we in the initial stages of planning this, of course, it was late spring, early summer, and we knew that golf courses were open.
Right.
So we assumed that this time of year, golf courses would still be open. So that would be our best opportunity to at least draw 100 people together, which wasn't an option at that time. So we're being kind of conservative in our expectation in terms of dollar amounts. But if we can get a lot of attention and bring some awareness to the programs that we participate in, I think that's equally as important. And we're looking for some women golfers too.
Yeah, for sure.
We have our honorary chair, Dottie Pepper.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
Who is,
that's great.
Yes, we were very excited to get her to sign on with us. So she's got a great story and obviously a well-known women's golfer.
Well, you know what? It sounds to me like we can break some glass ceilings with some golf balls. So that sounds like
That's what we're hoping.
Pretty good combination there, right? And that the money raised, and I just want to let our viewers know, of course, We seem to be rapidly turning the corner on the pandemic. Mass vaccination sites are opening in Saratoga County, Warren County, and whatever. But of course, all the guidelines would be adhered to as well.
Yes.
The main thing is to make certain that you participate and that you already know that the money is going to support programs like Dream It and Be It, and to help Maggie Frank and Wellspring. And if you don't know about Wellspring, look it up. This is an incredibly worthwhile organization in our community. And so I think that's it. Again, the date is May 24th. And really, do your best. Participate, donate, help this organization. So thank you both for taking the time. I know nothing about being a doctor, and I know nothing about being a financial advisor, but we do know media. So hopefully we'll help get the word out on this.
Thank you.
And
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. It was very nice to talk with both of you, and stay safe, okay?
Thank you. You too.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.